And I'd always wanted to have a shop. I was always fascinated by antiques. I'd always loved, I was brought up in a house with a lot of, my mother used to put antique rugs on top of antique rugs.
Oh my!
So I was really fascinated by that business. So I decided, well, I'm gonna open a shop. And I went to Northampton, Mass.
An antique place you did?
Yeah, and what it was I called it Accessories, which was an anagram on accessories, but that could cover anything. So it was antiques and it was accessories, and I had gone to two places, Northampton and Springfield. And Springfield at that time was going through a big renewal. And so I decided to go there because they offered me a great deal to go into this restoration building. It was a wonderful old landmark building, and I had a duplex shop. It was the talk of the town. I got great press. Everybody loved it.
Oh, good.
But I couldn't make any money.
Oh no! Oh my God!
It was a hit, but it was a hit show with great reviews, but I wasn't making any money. So after about 3 years, I closed it down. And just prior to that, before I went to New England, I had been walking across 67th Street between First and York Avenue. And I saw that they were setting up tables out in the yard. And the guy who was doing it came over to me. His name was Jim Flynn. He was an antique dealer. And he said,
was he any relation to Errol?
He was his brother-in-law.
Oh, brother-in-law. Okay, all right.
That's funny. That's funny. That's really funny.
All right. Did he have a big yacht, a big boat in the backyard and stuff like this?
He had, and he was a great jeweler.
Oh my goodness, how wonderful! Oh, so what happened, Paul? Let me hear what happened.
Okay, so he said, "Why don't you come and join us?" So I had collected stuff and a lot of. So I went home and got 3 shopping bags. And I came back and I spent the afternoon selling, and I made about $2,000. I thought, this is a great gig.
Oh my God!
So were you outside or inside?
Outside. When we first started, it was outside. So then I went back, and I would go in on Saturdays, even though I was still working in the fashion business, and I did that. And it was a great gig. And so then I was only there about a year and a half, and I left to go. I decided I wanted to open a shop, so I went to New England. And I opened the shop, and it wasn't making money. So what I would do, every Friday night, I would prepare my van and fill it. Right. And I would drive into New York. At 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would come to the markets, and I would set up on the east side.
Oh my God.
And sell all day, and then I would go to the west side and sell all day, and then I'd drive back to New England. Most of the time with an empty truck, because in those days, you know,
that's wonderful.
In those days, that business, this was in the 80s, that business was fabulous.
It was fabulous then,
Fabulous
and then everything slowed down.
It slowed down.
And everything else. But what happened with the acting? What happened with the modeling? What happened with...
Well, I put all of that on a back burner for a long time. So then I came back to New York, and I really seriously got into the antique business. And I was very fortunate. I did all the major shows. I did the small shows. I did the flea markets.
I think that was the time to do it.
It was a great time.
Yeah, it was a great time to do it.
And I never, if anybody had said to me, "You're going to want to go back and do stuff in theater," I said, never going to happen.
Yeah, because everything changed. I think the entertainment business dropped. There was no more entertainment in New York. Things just completely changed. There was every time there's like a 10-year cycle. You know, and the music industry changes and everything else changes, because I used to work in the Catskill Mountains all the time, and then everything changed every 10 years. The style of singing changed every 10 years. You know, everything changed where always new people coming in, new people coming in, new people coming in. And you know, you were fine. You were making a living for 10 years. Then all of a sudden, the market dropped out, and you had to go to a different business.
Exactly. And now with the technology, the way it's come in, it's just totally changed the business of buying and selling. Pretty much everything, really. It's changed the playing field a lot.
The economy and everything.
Everything. Economy, everything. But what happened to me was that someone gave me a gift to take a singing workshop. Now, I was an actor. I wasn't much of a singer. I'd done a production of Little Abner with Charles Nelson Riley. That was a long time ago. But I wasn't really a singer. So I decided, well, I'll take this. I'll do it.
You were a personality.
Okay. So I took, there was you did 4 sessions, and then you performed it in a club. So what happened was I went into the first session, and the gal who was running the thing had gotten CBS to come and film it. So I walked in, and they were like this. There were cameras everywhere, you know, and production people and everything. So I was like, am I really going to do this?
Yeah.
And she had papered the place. There were about 12 singers, but
Yeah.
most of them were seasoned, very professional people.
So then you should have stood out alone.
I did.
You did, okay.
But what happened was they all geared around me, you know, and so I did it, and we performed it in a club, and it went quite well.
Yeah.
And it was on CBS, the Sunday Morning News. It was a cabaret segment that was on a few times. It was on two or three times.
Great.
So I got the bug, and I decided to take another one, and then I started working on cabaret shows, and my partner started writing shows for me. And the thing that I've done a lot for a lot of years now, I started working on a show about Marilyn Monroe, but not Marilyn Monroe, the movie star. It's really about Marilyn, who Marilyn was as a person.
As a person, yes. She was very sensitive, very emotional.
Emotional, and the challenges that she had to deal with. And I think one of the most interesting things about the work that I've done with Marilyn is that any piece of film, or any photograph that you see of her is contemporary. She's never dated.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fascinating thing when you think about that. That she never seems dated from any period.
She's an icon.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she lived long enough to be dated.
But I mean, usually from a period, because that was the 50s, late 40s and 50s, a lot of times people look like that from that period. But Marilyn, Marilyn was jogging when women weren't jogging, in the 40s when she was jogging, and she never wore underwear, she
was a Southern. She came from down south.
She was a free spirit.
Yeah, free spirit.
She was ahead of her
Mary
time.
Jean Baker, I think, right?
Yeah.
Mary Baker. That's right.
Whatever it was, Mary Jean Baker.
Mary Jean,
Baker, it was Baker, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the real name.
Norma Jean, that's right. Norma Jean Baker, that's right.
But she had a difficult toe. She came from a family with, her mother had serious emotional issues and was hospitalized for most of her life, and so was her grandmother. And Marilyn, when you think about where she came from, she was discovered in an assembly line during World War II, working on an assembly line.
Wow.
And a photographer came in and took her photographs, and suddenly she was modeling. And
she was stunning. There was something very special about her.
Well,
even without makeup, she's a.
I think she had that androgynous, she had that quality about her, I think, that was. It's interesting. I have a friend who worked with her at the same time. She was at the actor studio when Marilyn was there, and she said, one of the reasons why she had that luminous quality about her was that she had a very fine peach fur on her face.
Really?
And when the cameras hit her, it kind of illuminated her. And isn't that an interesting thing?
Yeah,
she had kind of a peach fuzz on her.
Like a fuzz.
Yeah.
She didn't shave or anything.
No.
Yeah, I know, my gosh.
It's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of women are shaving now.
Yes.
I know.
Especially as they get more involved in the workplace.
That's right.
Further up the line they go.
Yeah. Well, Paul, you know a lot about Marilyn because you wrote a show about her and you perform it.
Yes.
I love the narration that he did about Marilyn.
Yeah.
An introduction about her, which is very emotional, very tender, very sweet. It's a love of work. It's a love piece that you made with that. It's a very beautiful.
Well, my partner is quite a wonderful writer. He comes from a background, even though he's a solid business person, he comes from a background with, his father was a major photographer. He collaborated with Alfred Hitchcock, and he wrote, he fine-tuned the script together over a period of time. And I think that, my reason for doing this show is that I want it to be out there for people to be aware of what it was like for people to have those kind of issues at that time.
Yes.
The challenges, it was very much misunderstood, and today I think we're so fortunate because any kind of a mood disorder today, it's so many people have gone public about it. Catherine Zeta-Jones, Patty Duke, they've written books. So the stigma has been broken down, and I think that's a healthy thing.
Yes, it is.
So that's really the motivation for my doing this.